I'm sitting in my grandfather's room at Meadowbrook Care Home when I see them through the window, my mother, my uncle, my aunt, all three of them walking across the parking lot together for the first time in 8 months. Behind them, a man in a charcoal suit carrying a leather briefcase. Grandpa is in his chair by the window, the one I bought him in June. He sees them too, his hand, the one with the tremor, goes still. Well, he says quietly, look who remembered I exist. The man in the suit is Gerald Hampton, Grandpa's lawyer for 30 years, I know, because Grandpa told me last week he'd called him, told me exactly what he was planning. What's in that envelope Gerald is carrying will change everything. My mother doesn't know it yet, but in about 4 minutes she's going to find out what happens when you forget someone is watching. My name is Claire. I'm 29 years old, and if you're watching this, please subscribe to Echo of Justice Stories and let me know where you're watching from. To understand how we got here to this moment, I need to take you back 2 years to the day my family decided my grandpa wasn't worth their time anymore. I am 27 years old, sitting in a hospital waiting room that smells like antiseptic and burnt coffee. My grandfather, Robert Chen, 81 years old, just had a stroke. Moderate severity, right side weakness, speech intact, thank God, but his mobility will never be the same. The doctor, a tired-looking woman with kind eyes, gathers us in the hallway. My mother, Linda, my uncle James, my aunt Patricia, me, he's going to need full-time care, the doctor says, at least for the next 6 months. Physical therapy, occupational therapy, assistance with daily living activities. Can he go home? My mother asks. Not alone. He'd need 24-hour care. The four of us look at each other. Grandpa lives alone, has since Grandma died 5 years ago. A small 2-bedroom house in a neighborhood he's lived in for 40 years. Garden in the back, photos on every wall. His whole life in 1,200 square feet. What are the options? Uncle James asks. Family care with home health support, or a skilled nursing facility, at least temporarily. My mother pulls out her phone, starts calculating something, Mom, I say. She doesn't look up. Am looking at home care costs $25 an hour. Minimum, that's $600 a day. Dad has savings, Aunt Patricia says, which need to last. My mother shoots back. He could live another 10 years. It's a problem. I could take a leave from work, I offer. Stay with him during the day. Claire, you just got promoted. My mother says, you can't throw your career away. It's not throwing it away. Let's be realistic. Uncle James, always the pragmatist. None of us can quit our jobs, and Dad needs professional care. We tour 3 facilities in 4 days. Meadowbrook is the nicest private rooms garden courtyard activities coordinator. The director, a woman named Susan Park, shows us around with the warmth of someone who's done this tour 1,000 times. We treat our residents like family, she says. The room is small, a bed, a dresser, a chair, a window overlooking the parking lot, pale blue walls, neutral carpet, aggressively inoffensive. Nothing like his house, but it's clean. The staff seems kind, and my mother has already done the math, $6,800 a month, she says, as we stand in the hallway. That's reasonable. It's a storage unit for people, I say quietly, Claire. My mother's voice has that warning edge. We're doing the best we can. I look through the window at the common area, a dozen elderly people, some in wheelchairs, some staring at a TV, one woman talking to someone who isn't there. This is where we're putting Grandpa because it's reasonable move in day, February 14th. I help Grandpa pack, not his whole house, just what fits in one room. His favorite chair doesn't fit, too big. His bookshelf, only half. The staff says too much furniture makes the room cluttered. His photo albums, I pack all of them. I don't care what the guidelines say. The clothes in his closet, the ones Grandma bought him, over 40 years of marriage reduced to what fits in a 4-drawer dresser. He doesn't complain, doesn't argue. He just watches me fold his life into boxes with eyes that look more tired than they did yesterday. It's temporary, I tell him, just until you get stronger. He nods. We both know I'm lying. The first month everyone visits. My mother comes twice a week, brings him crossword puzzles, sits for an hour, talks about her job, her book club, her plans to renovate her kitchen. Uncle James comes on Sundays, watches football with him in the common room, pats his shoulder when he leaves. Aunt Patricia comes. Wednesdays brings cookies from the fancy bakery, tells him about her daughter's college applications. I come 3 times a week, Monday, Thursday, Saturday. I bring him books, real ones, not large print. We play chess, badly because his right hand still shakes, but we play. For a month, it almost looks like we're keeping our promise. Then the visits start spreading out. Month 2. My mother comes once a week. Work has been crazy. She says, Uncle James skips 2 Sundays. Got caught up with some things. Aunt Patricia cancels 3 Wednesdays in a row. Texts instead, thinking of you, Dad. I still come 3 times a week. Grandpa notices. Of course he notices. You don't have to come so often, he says. 1 Thursday, I want to. Your mother is busy. I know James has his own family. He's making excuses for them. Already month 4. My mother comes twice a month, always during the day, never on weekends, stays 45 minutes. Uncle James comes once a month. Sometimes less. Aunt Patricia sends cards, Hallmark pre-written messages. She signs her name at the bottom. I come 3 times a week. The nurses know me by name now. Susan, the activities coordinator, Miguel, the physical therapist, Donna, the night nurse who sneaks, Grandpa, extra pudding cups, your granddaughter's here again, Mr. Chen. They say when I arrive again, like it's notable, because I'm the only one who shows up. Month 6, July. It's Grandpa's 82nd birthday. I tell the family 2 weeks in. Advance. I create a group chat. I send reminders. Let's all come Saturday at 2. My mother'll try to make it. Uncle James should be able to swing by. Aunt Patricia wouldn't miss it. Saturday 2 p.m. In Grandpa's room. Chocolate cake from his favorite bakery, the one by his old house, candles, napkins, plastic forks, 215, no one, 230. I text the group chat, we're in his room whenever you get here, 2:45. My mother texts back, oh no, I thought you said Sunday. Can't make it today, hair appointment, will come next week. Uncle James got pulled into something, sorry Dad, happy birthday Aunt Patricia. Typing 3 dots, they disappear, no message. I look at Grandpa Hez sitting in his chair wearing the button-up shirt I ironed for him this morning. Hair-combed shoes on waiting. They're not coming, he says quietly. Here I know he smiles. It doesn't reach his eyes. Let's have some cake. We eat chocolate cake in silence. I take a photo, send it to the group chat, caption Grandpa's. 82nd. Thanks to everyone who made time. No one responds. If you've ever been the only one who showed up, you know this feeling. It's not anger, not yet. It's something colder. Drop a comment right now. What would you have said to your family? Because what I said next, I should have said sooner. I start documenting, not because I'm planning anything, because I need to see it for myself to know. I'm not imagining the pattern. I create a spreadsheet, 3 columns. Date, who visited, how long. July 10th, Claire 2 hours, July 13th, Claire 1.5 hours, July 15th, Claire 2 hours, July 18th, Linda, my mother, 30 minutes, July 20th, Claire 2 hours, July 24th, Claire 1.5 hours, July 27th, Claire 2 hours, July 31, Claire 2 hours, August looks the same, September looks worse, Uncle James comes once, stays 20 minutes, Aunt Patricia doesn't come at all. My mother comes 3 times. She stays long enough to feel like she did something, but not long enough to actually do anything. I come 12 times a month, every month. October 3rd, I'm sitting with Grandpa when Susan, the director, knocks on the door. Claire, can I speak with you for a moment? We step into the hallway. I don't want to overstep, she says carefully, but I've noticed you're here significantly more than other family members I know. Is there a reason they're not visiting? I don't know how to answer that. Because what's the reason? They're busy, they're tired. They have their own lives, all things that are true for me too. I don't know, I say finally. Susan nods. Your grandfather asks about them. The staff has noticed something in my chest tightens. What does he say? He makes excuses, says they're busy important jobs. But Claire, she pauses, he's declining. The stroke? Not physically, emotionally, socially residents who don't get visitors deteriorate faster. It's documented. I look through the window. Grandpa is in his chair staring out at the parking lot. What do I do? Keep coming, she says, and maybe talk to your family. I call my mother that night. Mom, we need to talk about Grandpa. What about him? When's the last time you visited? Pause, I don't know. A few weeks ago, 6 weeks, Claire. I've been swamped at work. You've been swamped for 6 months. Her voice gets that edge. I don't appreciate the tone he asks about you. The staff told me he makes excuses for you. I'll go this weekend. You said that last month. Well, I mean it this time. She doesn't go. I call Uncle James. Uncle James. Grandpa needs more visitors. I know, I've been meaning to get over there. You came once in September. Yeah, it's been busy. You know how it is. I come 3 times a week. Silence. Look, Claire, not everyone has as much free time as you do. Free time. Like I'm not working 40 hours a week. Like my time just magically appears, has your father, and I'll visit when I can. He doesn't. I text Aunt Patricia, Aunt Pat, can you please visit Grandpa? He misses you. She responds 4 hours later. Of course, I'll go soon. Things have been hectic. Thanks for keeping an eye on him. She doesn't go. November 8th, I arrive at Meadowbrook at my usual time. 6 p.m. on a Thursday, Grandpa is in the common room. Not unusual. What's unusual is that he's alone. Not near the TV, not near the other residents, just sitting in a wheelchair by the window, staring out at the dark parking lot. I walk over. Hey, Grandpa. He doesn't turn, Grandpa. I thought you were your mother. My throat tightens. She's coming soon, I'm sure. No, she's not. He says it so quietly. So matter of fact, I kneel down beside his chair. I'm here. I know you're always here. Do you want to go back to your room? He nods. I wheel him back, help him into his chair, the one I bought. The only piece of furniture from his house that fit Claire. He says, I need to ask you something. Anything. Am I a burden? The word hits me like a fist. What? No, Grandpa, no. Then why doesn't anyone come? I don't have an answer. Not one that doesn't break both our hearts. They're just busy, too busy for an hour. His voice cracks. Too busy to sit with me for 1 hour month. I'm crying now. I don't try to hide it. I'm sorry. You have nothing to be sorry for. You're the only one who treats me like I still matter. He reaches for my hand, the one with the tremor. I hold it steady. You matter. Grandpa, you matter so much. He nods, but I don't think he believes me. That night I update my spreadsheet. October, Claire visited 13 times. Total hours, 28. Linda 1, visit 25 minutes. James 0 visits. Patricia 0 visits. I stare at the numbers, then I call my best friend Maya. They've abandoned him, Claire. I'm not exaggerating, they've abandoned him, and he knows Maya is quiet for a moment. What are you going to do? I don't know. But that's not true. I know exactly what I'm going to do. November 15th, I send an email to my mother, my uncle, and my aunt, subject Grandpa Body. I've been tracking visits to Meadowbrook in the last 4 months. I've visited 48 times combined. The 3 of you have visited 6 times total. Grandpa is declining, not because of the stroke, because he's lonely, he asks about you, he makes excuses for you, and every time you don't show up, he believes a little more that he doesn't matter. If you can't visit, say that. But stop pretending you're going to. It's cruelty disguised as politeness. Claire, I hit send before I can second guess myself. My mother calls 20 minutes later. How dare you? How dare I? What accuse us of not caring? I didn't accuse, I stated facts. We all have lives. Claire, responsibilities. Not everyone can drop everything to play favorite grandchild. Am not playing anything. Am showing up. You're guilting us. No, Mom. Am holding up a mirror. She hangs up. Uncle James emails back. Claire, this is out of line. We're all doing our best, I reply. Your best is once in 3 months. He doesn't respond. Aunt Patricia doesn't respond at all. December 20th, Meadowbrook is decorated for Christmas. Tinsel in the common room, a tree by the front desk, Bing Crosby playing on loop. Grandpa is in his room staring at the wall. Hey, Grandpa, Merry Christmas, Claire. I set down a gift bag inside a new cardigan, wool, navy blue, the kind he used to wear to church. You didn't have to, I wanted to. He opens it slowly, runs his hand over the fabric. Your grandmother bought me one just like this years ago. I know I remembered. He smiles, a real one. Will your mother come for Christmas? I lie, she's going to try. And James, Patricia. They said they'll see. He nods. We both know what that means. Christmas Day. Am the only one who visits. January 12th. Grandpa's. Lawyer arrives. Gerald Hampton, tall, silver-haired, the kind of man who wears cufflinks without irony. I don't know he's coming. Grandpa arranged it himself. Am in the room when Gerald arrives. Grandpa asked me to stay. Mr. Chen, Gerald shakes his hand, gentle but firm. Good to see you, Gerald. Thank you for coming. Gerald opens his briefcase, pulls out a folder I've drafted, the changes you requested. If you're still certain I am. Gerald nods, slides the papers across the small table. I don't read them. Grandpa doesn't want me to. Not yet. He signs 4 pages, initials, signature date. Gerald witnesses. Then he puts the documents back in the folder, seals them in an envelope on the front in Grandpa's handwriting. To my family. When do you want this delivered? Gerald asks. Grandpa looks at me, then back at Gerald. When I'm gone. February 9th, I get the call at 4:17 in the morning. Donna the night nurse, Claire, you need to come. Am there in 14 minutes. Grandpa is in bed, eyes closed, breathing shallow heart failure. Donna says softly. It was peaceful. I hold his hand, the one with the tremor. It's still now. I don't call my mother until 6 a.m. She cries, real tears. I can hear them. I was going to visit this week, she says. I don't respond. The funeral is small. Grandpa wanted it that way. My mother sits in the front row, dabbing her eyes with a tissue. Uncle James stands stoic, hands folded. Aunt Patricia sobs quietly. They look like grieving children. They look like they showed up. The service ends, people file out. Gerald approaches me in the parking lot. Claire, your grandfather asked me to gather the family. For the reading of the will, can you help coordinate when today? If possible, he was very specific. We meet at Gerald's office at 4 p.m., a conference room with dark wood furniture and floor-to-ceiling bookshelves. My mother, Uncle James, Aunt Patricia, and I sit on one side of the table. Gerald sits across from us. He opens the envelope, the one Grandpa signed in January before we begin. Gerald says, Mr. Chen asked me to share something. He pulls out a second document, handwritten. This is a letter. He asked that I read it aloud. My mother shifts in her seat. Gerald clears his throat and begins to my children and my granddaughter. If you're hearing this, I'm gone, and if Gerald is reading this to you, it means you're sitting in his office, wondering what I've left you. Let me save you the suspense, Linda, James, Patricia. You will each receive $1 from my estate, exactly $1. This is not a mistake, this is not senility. This is a choice. My mother's face goes white. Uncle James leans forward. What Gerald continues reading. For 2 years, you left me in that place. I don't mean Meadowbrook. The staff there were kinder to me than you were. I mean the place you put me emotionally. The corner where people go when they're no longer useful. You visited when it was convenient. You called when you felt guilty. You sent cards when you wanted to feel like you'd done something. You didn't ask how I was. You asked if I needed anything because needing something would mean you'd have to provide it. Claire came 3 times a week, every week for 2 years. She sat with me, played chess with me, listened to my stories, even though she'd heard them before. She showed up on my birthday when no one else did. She held my hand when I cried. She treated me like I still mattered. My estate, valued at approximately $1.2 million, will go entirely to Claire. Not because she asked for it, she didn't, but because she earned it, not with greed, with presents. My mother stands up. This is insane. He wasn't in his right mind. Gerald looks at her calmly. He was fully competent. I assessed him personally. This will is ironclad. We're his children, and you treated him like a chore. Aunt Patricia is crying. We were busy. We had lives. So did Claire. Gerald says quietly. Uncle James looks at me. You knew about this. I knew he called Gerald. I didn't know what was in the will. Bullshit. James, Gerald says sharply. If you'd like to contest this, you're welcome to. But I'll be honest with you, I have 2 years of visitor logs from Meadowbrook Susan Park. The director is willing to testify. So are several staff members. Your father documented everything, including the birthday you missed. My mother sinks back into her chair. Gerald slides 3 envelopes across the table, one for each of them. Inside you'll find a check for $1 and a note from your father. I suggest you read them in private. We leave Gerald's office in silence. My mother doesn't look at me. Uncle James shakes his head, mutters something I don't catch. Aunt Patricia is still crying. I sit in my car and call Maya. He left me everything. Claire, oh my God, I didn't ask for it. I swear, I know you didn't. That's why he gave it to you. I sit in the parking lot until the sun goes down. 3 days later, my mother calls. I read his note. Okay. He said her voice breaks. He said he loved me, but he didn't like who I became. I don't respond. He said he hoped I'd learn that people are indisposable. Did you long silence? I don't know. She hangs up. 1 week later, I go back to Meadowbrook, not to visit Grandpa. Hez not there. But I bring flowers for the staff, for Susan, for Miguel, for Donna. You took care of him when we didn't? I tell them. Donna hugs me. You took care of him more than you know. Susan hands me something, a framed photo. It's from Grandpa's birthday, the one where no one came. We're sitting together, chocolate cake in front of us. He's smiling. He wanted you to have this. Susan says, I take it home, put it on my mantle. 2 months later, I use part of Grandpa's money to start a fund. Visitor programs for long-term care residents, volunteers to sit with people whose families don't come. I name it after him, the Robert Chen Companionship Fund, because he was right. People aren't disposable, and presence matters more than promises. 6 months later, Uncle James reaches out. Can we talk? We meet for coffee. Neutral territory. He looks older, tired. I read Dad's note. Every day he says, okay. He said, I forgot that time is the only thing you can't get back. I stir my coffee. He was right. James says quietly, I thought I had more time. I thought I don't know that he'd always be there. He was until he wasn't. James nods. I'm sorry. Not for the will, for not showing up. It's not enough, but it's something. Thank you. We don't hug, but we don't part angry. Aunt Patricia never reaches out. My mother calls once a month. We talk about safe things, weather work, never Grandpa. But last week she asked, how's the fund? Good, we've matched 40 volunteers with residents. That's really nice, Claire. A pause. Your grandfather would be proud. My throat tightens. Yeah. He would. I keep Grandpa's chair. The one from his room at Meadowbrook. It's in my living room now, by the window. Sometimes I sit in it and imagine what he'd say. Probably something about not holding grudges, about forgiveness being for me, not them, about choosing presence over bitterness. He was good at that, choosing grace, even when people didn't deserve it, even when it cost him. If you're watching this and you have someone in a care home, a hospital, a place where they're waiting for you, go not tomorrow, not next week, today, because one day you won't be able to, and the only thing worse than absence is regret. Grandpa taught me that. Not with the will, with his life. That's my story. Now I have a question for you. If you could go back and spend one more hour with someone, who would it be? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if this story reminded you that time is the only currency that matters, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Check the description for more stories like this from Echo of Justice Stories. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? The people who matter won't wait forever. Neither will the time you have with them.